special edition of Clan Chat. It's Murph with Landon Bow. And Landon, it is such an honor to have you as part of the Purple Army going forward. I know Corey Nielsen was having intense chats with you. He really believed this was the right move for both the player, the coach, and the club. So it's finally nice to put a face and have a chat now. And I guess the first thing is we should talk about those chats with Corey Nielsen and see what exactly you know about Glasgow, what you know about the league, and what your thought process was with going from Czechia to Scotland.
This wasn't the most straightforward process for me. I didn't know how things were going to go after my last season, but I was able to get a call in with Corey. He was telling me how he was coming in and he wanted to turn the ship around here in Glasgow. And yeah, he's had success in the past. He was a great hockey player. I think he's been a pretty successful coach in the league, and his vision really lined up with mine. It's like we want to win. We want to turn this ship around. And he was telling me his kind of multi-step process he had for making this a successful season. And I really, really kind of bought into what he said, and it made me excited to come here for the season.
He was so excited about your experience, and for any Purple Army, any Clan fans that don't know, I mean, you played in the NHL, you played in the American Hockey League, great numbers in the WHL, the East Coast Hockey League. You've come off a few seasons playing with a legendary sort of iconic figure in Kladno in Jaromir Jagr. So your experience is exactly what's needed, and a steadying presence between the pipes was what Corey was looking for. You're a big guy at 6'5" as well, so it's all lining up. And I know how excited he was to kind of get the deal across the line. Should we touch upon that? Because let's be honest, growing up in Canada, growing up anywhere, if you're involved in hockey, the dream is to on to NHL ice, and you did that a couple of times with the Dallas Stars. So maybe just take our fans through that first call up, that first game, and that process of playing in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, absolutely. That one, the first game was always kind of funny. I remember I got the call the night before that I had to go fly to Pittsburgh. And so I was connecting through Dallas, then up to Pittsburgh. My first flight got delayed for 2 hours in Austin. I had to sprint through the airport just to catch my flight to Pittsburgh on time. And by the time I got there, like the gates were just about to close. I snuck on. I got to the airport. I flew to Pittsburgh, got in around 11, 12 o'clock at night. Didn't get any sleep going into morning skate. It was just like so nervous. My first like real call up, and got through morning skate. And they're like, "Hey, don't worry, it'll be a really relaxing day. Just kind of try to get a nap in." I did that, come for the game, and then next thing you know, halfway through the game, I have to come in, and the adrenaline was pumping so much. Like I didn't have anything to think. I didn't have any energy, so it was just kind of just go into survival mode. And it was a really cool experience for me. Like I'm really happy with the time I've been able to have in North America. And yeah, those are just things I'll never forget.
Yeah, it's neat. You coming off the bench and you're staring down number 87, Sidney Crosby. That's quite an experience in your first NHL go around.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you have one of the greatest Canadian hockey players to ever play the game coming down. I had a little half breakaway backhand save on him, and I remember after the game, just all the texts and calls from my family, and everybody was just so excited about how cool it was. And that was just, a really special moment to play against a guy like that in my first game.
Yeah, to make a save on Sidney Crosby or Geno Malkin, any of those guys. But that is interesting. Was there anyone on that Dallas Stars roster? You said they said, "Oh, it'll be relaxed and just get a nap." Did someone put their arm around you and go, "Okay, this is what you like"? Did someone take you under the wing there and just kind of help you level the ship?
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Benn, he's there. There's the reason he's the captain there. He was just such a great guy to me throughout my entire time, whether it was being called up or being the taxi squad during the COVID year. He was always there to help. He'd help me work out in the summers. He'd really like anything I needed, he was going to take care of. So he would just come up and be like, "Hey, you're playing hockey, smile. Just go out and have fun." And that really helped me loosen up.
So a couple of games in the NHL. 140 American Hockey League games, 64 wins in the A. These are great numbers and certainly great experiences. And you're coming out of Alberta. Were you an Oilers fan growing up, or were you like once you're a part of that Dallas organization? Was that you forget about the affiliations with the Alberta teams?
Yeah, well, yeah. As a kid, like growing up here, you're always an Alberta, like a Alberta or Edmonton fan. So yeah, I was a fan for them until Montreal drafted Carey Price. And then I switched over to Montreal for a little bit until I ended up getting signed with Dallas, and had to keep my allegiance with them for the couple of years. And now I'm just a casual hockey fan, and I just want to see good hockey.
And you're in Alberta right now. We were just talking off camera a little bit. So you're right in the heart of oil country. Is Connor McDavid trying to get the Oilers to the promised land? And you're probably watching the Stars as well. It's been an interesting playoff so far. And again, we were talking off camera. The whole Toronto Maple Leafs relieving Sheldon Keefe of the duties behind the Leafs bench. It's been a wild and woolly playoff so far.
Yeah, it's been crazy because like you got some unbelievable storylines like that Carolina New York series that's 3-0 but could easily be 3-0 the other way. Just Shesterkin's been fantastic. And then Edmonton, like you go from being like, yeah, just grinding. Like they're just usually so offensively skilled to not getting a shot that last game in this last period. But that's playoffs. It's funny how things can change. Like you have success all year, and once everybody starts to key in on those little things, it just, yeah, they can shut teams down or open up problems that they didn't even know they had.
It's interesting. You mentioned Shesterkin there. When you start watching hockey and your season's over in Glasgow and you're looking around, okay, you're coming to Glasgow and now you say you're just enjoying it. Do you watch the goalies first, or do you like watch a guy like McDavid, or are you just all about the goaltending?
I always like to see the goalies, just see who's been around, like some guys that I would have played with, like Jake Ottinger. I love seeing him play because, yeah, when he was a young kid, like you got to see him, like how good he was when he started off and just how he's developed and everything. And it was funny. My wife was watching the game with me. What was it, game 7 of the last series? And they were showing him in an interview, and Bailey's like, wow, he looks so old now. It's like he's just a weathered veteran. And I remember him just being this fresh little kid with no beard hair. And but yeah, for watching hockey, I like to take a look at the goalies first and then figure out from there on out.
Tell the Purple Army a little bit about what they can expect. We mentioned there earlier, you're 6'5", so you're a big guy with NHL experience. But what can the Purple Army experience or expect when you bring that experience to the crease for the Clan?
Yeah, like for me, yeah, I'm a big goalie. I play the puck, I think, really well, and I'm very calm. I think that helps with all that experience in all the different leagues. Being able to just, yeah, keep my mind steady when things start to go a little bit crazy. But yeah, my thing is to try to bring a little bit of a leadership role this season. And yeah, just kind of like if things start to go away, just kind of calm everything down, and we're gonna be fine in the end. We're gonna figure it out, and yeah, we'll have our ups and downs, but hopefully our ups are a little higher than our downs, and yeah, we can have a little bit of a run this year.
I think the Purple Army will love that because it's a passionate fan base, a very knowledgeable fan base, and a lot of sellouts at Braehead Arena last year. So they'll be packing to the rafters to see Landon Bow between the pipes this season. 3 years in Czechia with Kladno, and for anyone who doesn't know, obviously Jaromir Jagr, an icon, I guess, of both Czechia hockey, NHL hockey. Do you have any memories of those 3 years? Because you walk into a dressing room and there's Jaromir Jagr. I mean, it's like a save on Sidney Crosby. It's like a guy that everyone knows.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for me, like the one thing is, yeah, I played with him from when he was 50 to 52. So not your normal teammate that you're dressing up with beside. But you always hear the rumors of the stuff he's doing with ankle weights and weight vests and like bungee cords on the ice, shooting tires. And it's like, he still does that at 52 years old. He's out there after practice with his 30 pound steel hockey stick and just shooting tires off the wall. And you're like, this is the only reason you could play this long. He's built differently, and he's an interesting cat. That's for sure.
Yeah, I told you about when he was with the Boston Bruins, and I was working for another network, and I was in Boston, and that was the time where the weight vest and the ankle weights came out. I think they had lost game 4 or 5 in Boston, and I was filing a report up in the press box, and I realized that Jaromir Jagr's out there long after the building had emptied out with the weight vest, and he was out there, and you're going, yeah, this guy has just made a different stuff. So I'm sure on a day-to-day basis, you saw some interesting things.
Yeah, absolutely. If you got stuck in there in a conversation with him, he wouldn't be afraid to tell you about how the eye works or some spiritual thing that he uses to kind of keep his body and like ability to work super clean. It's kind of amazing how he does things, and he's just, whenever you have a chance to talk with him, if he can sit down, he'll tell you about anything you need to know.
Yeah, very interesting, Cap, for sure. The World Championships is on right now, and do you know a little bit about the Great Britain squad? Because they're going to open up against Canada, and we now know that John Tavares is going to join Team Canada, so it doesn't get any easier for the GB boys.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tough opening match for them for sure. But I feel like I'm going to be paying a little bit more attention now, seeing that we had a couple guys from the team playing there. I don't know if Lucas is going to get any games or not, but I'd like to see him get in there so I can kind of see what my goalie partner will be like this year. But I'm excited for them to go in, show what they got, and hopefully, they can upset a couple teams.
Certainly, some great clan interest. Corey Nielsen, the assistant coach for Great Britain. You mentioned Lucas Bryan there, one of the three goalies. And, of course, Robert Lakovich, one of the most decorated Great Britain players of all time. So we'll be all interested to see that. I'll be enjoying calling that game. It doesn't get easy, but sometimes it's one of those things where you just go, it's like a Band-Aid. You just rip it off and let's get the puck down and play against Canada. It would be pretty intense but exciting at the same time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. When it's a game like that, where it's like you're playing against all these NHL stars, there's nothing like, you can't go in there too nervous. It's like you get to go play. It's like, this is going to be an amazing experience. You go out there, you give it all you got, and especially being the first game of the tournament, maybe you come in there and you catch them a little off guard, and you get a little bit of an early lead and kind of put the pressure on them to see what they can do.
There's been some great moments over the years, whether it was Ben Bounds making a save off of Hughes, and a month later, Hughes was the number one overall pick. And there's been a couple of those moments through the years that were magnificent. So we hope for some more for Great Britain and Corey Nielsen and Lacko and Lucas Bryan at the IIHF World Championships. When you look at the passion of the fan base, and you look around the EIHL, and you talk to Corey, and you figure out where's a good fit for you and your family. You mentioned your wife there. There's a lot that goes into making a move, but it sounds like, talking off camera, and of course Corey said it sounds like it came together in a sort of meeting of the minds there. When you talk to family about a move like that, what's the kind of advice you take? Because it's quite a move from Czechia to Scotland.
Yeah, talking with my wife, we also have like a 1-year-old daughter, and for us, you go from a place where things aren't quite as familiar for you, where it's not all in English. You got to figure stuff out a little bit. It's a little hard. Coming up to Scotland, it would be, a lot simpler for us, a little bit more comfortable for her. Because my wife actually lived in Sheffield for 2 years when I first came over here, just because her company had an office there. So we got to spend, I guess I only spent one summer there, and we kind of got to see around the UK. But I didn't get to experience much of Scotland, and neither did she. So for us, when this came up, we were both very excited because, the hockey's going to be good. From what I've heard from other guys that have played here, the fans are unbelievable. And then the nature and everything. You got the Highlands, you got Loch Ness, everything up there that was a little bit too far to see when we were living in Sheffield. So it's really exciting. Just taking a look at the city now, looking at the apartments, like everything seems amazing. So I just can't wait to get there and see everything.
Well, that's interesting. So your wife spent some time in Sheffield. There'd be Steelers fans clamoring, going, "Why didn't we get Landon Bow? He was right there in Sheffield." But they had a real good goalie last year in Matt Greenfield. Did you kind of watch along in the league at all? I mean, the Sheffield Steelers were very good this season, of course, winning all 3 trophies.
Yeah, you see a team like that, like it doesn't go unnoticed. Like, they seem to kind of dominate. They were running away with the league title pretty, like they had a lot of games in hand by the time it got all said and done. You see teams like that, then the Cardiffs, the Belfasts. And that's the thing with Glasgow, is I want to get to that point where we're pushing to get that Triple Crown or steal some of those titles away from the other teams. And I think we have the ability to go out there and challenge. And I'm excited to see once we have everybody together and what our systems are. It's like, I feel like with Corey at the helm, we're going to be pushing for that for sure.
And you mentioned there the Highlands and nature. What do you do? What do you enjoy away from hockey, Len? And do you enjoy golf? Because I mean, that's the mecca of golf. There's a lot of great golf courses in Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a yeah, pretty avid golfer. Not the best golfer, but I really just enjoy getting out there, just go walk around, be in nature, get a little angry, and then yeah, go home. But no, for us, we like to be outside, do our walks. It's great with the kid now. Like we're able to, yeah, get some fresh air. She's starting to walk now, so she just runs around. She's a little scared of grass right now, but we're hoping the more we get into it, the more comfortable she'll be. But yeah, we like being able to see the nature and cool parts of the world like that.
Well, Glasgow is a great city, and Scotland as a place is beautiful. So you will no doubt enjoy that. And be wary of Robert Lakovich. He'll tell you he's not great at golf, and then there might be a little wager or something like that, and then you'll realize, oh, Robert Lakovich is very good at golf. We had a couple of very good golfers last year, and I think some of the imports were taken aback, probably thinking they were better. But Robert Lakovich, yeah, that's someone to keep your eye on if you're going to go golfing with him.
Perfect. Yeah, I won't get the rookie treatment and end up owing him a couple pounds. So perfect. I love that.
You'll enjoy Robert Lakovich, a really good guy, and it's interesting. Lucas Bryan, who that's a real good goaltending tandem, both with the initials LB, so that will no doubt provide some some crossover as the season goes on. What's your plan for the summer? What does preparation look like for you? Like we've talked to some players about what they do in the summer. We just talked to Joe Hazeldine, and he's a defenseman, so his preparation would be a little bit different. His off-season training. So, what does Landon Bow do to keep in shape and to get in shape for the new season?
For me, it's a lot of biking. I guess normal strength training just to make sure I'm ready. A lot of my legs, like my upper body's not quite as important. Like I don't need to be throwing big hits and everything. For me, it's just making sure my legs are strong and quick. And then yeah, just getting as much ice as I physically can to make sure my speed is good and get my reaction timing and super stretched out over the year. Make sure I don't tighten up because I know how quick things can go on you at my age now. I'm starting to feel it. The more I don't stretch, the worse it gets. So just make sure my flexibility stays there. And just make sure I keep in good shape, good cardio, and strong legs.
You're 28, Landon. You're going to make the rest of us feel very old if you say you're feeling it. Because when I get up out of this chair to go do the commentary later, my back will be aching. So at 28, enjoy your flexibility while you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Hoping I can keep it for a little bit longer here. Stretch this career out.
Well, we're really looking forward to having you in purple. I think you're really going to enjoy Scotland, and you're certainly going to enjoy Braehead Arena when it's sold out and the Purple Army is behind you as you skate out and lead the team out for a home game. Thanks for taking the time to join us. It's a pleasure to chat with you finally, and I look forward to meeting you in person. But for now, I guess you'll be watching the NHL playoffs, watching Great Britain at the World Championships, and preparing for the new adventure and the new season as a member of the Glasgow Clan.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And I'm excited to meet you guys all in person. And can't wait to see all the fans.